All right, let's just jump right into it. Because while it feels like the entire world is chasing the next crypto hype coin, the biggest asset manager on the planet is quietly, methodically rewriting the entire rulebook for finance. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on BlackRock's Buidl fund and figure out what it's really signaling for the future of money.
And honestly, that's the whole story, right there. Just let that sink in. This single sentence tells you absolutely everything you need to know. This is not some small experiment. It's not a side project. This is the blueprint.
So what is this revolution we're talking about? Well, the crazy thing is it's happening without any of the usual fanfare. There are no Super Bowl ads, no flashy marketing campaigns, just a silent, extremely calculated push into a completely new financial frontier. And that right there is the key. You have to understand this contrast. All the noise you see in the market day to day, a lot of it is just a distraction. The real story, the fundamental shift, is being engineered by the biggest players in traditional finance. And trust me, they are not shouting about it from the rooftops. Okay, so it's time to put a name to this quiet revolution. It's called Build. And no, that's not a typo for build, though it's kind of fitting, isn't it? So let's break down what this thing actually is. Build stands for the BlackRock USD Institutional Digital Liquidity Fund. In simple terms, it's a money market fund. But here's the twist. It's been tokenized and put on a public blockchain. And the name on the door? BlackRock, the largest asset manager on Earth. That changes everything. And look, we are not talking about pocket change here. We're talking well over $2 billion in assets that have already poured into this fund. I mean, that number alone should tell you how serious this is. It screams immediate institutional adoption and, more importantly, trust. Now this is where it gets really interesting, because what you're looking at is the best of both worlds. On one hand, you've got the rock-solid stability of traditional finance. It's 100% backed by ultra-safe U.S. Treasuries and repo agreements. But then you get the magic of DeFi. Yield paid out daily, directly to your wallet, 24/7 transfers between approved parties, and instant redemptions with no middlemen. This is a total game changer. And this all leads us to this really fascinating dynamic. You see, traditional finance, or TradFi, isn't just dipping its toes into decentralized finance, or DeFi. No, they are actively building their own version of it from the ground up. And this comparison just lays it all out perfectly. You know the drill with a typical crypto project, right? Loud marketing, tons of hype, it's open to anyone, and the focus is usually on speculation. BlackRock's approach? The exact opposite. It's quiet and methodical. It's permissioned, meaning you have to be vetted and approved to even get in. And its entire purpose is institutional utility, not retail hype. See the difference? They aren't betting on DeFi, they're building it themselves. And I really want to hammer this point home, because it is the absolute core of this whole thing. This is a deliberate, strategic, and permanent infrastructure play. You're watching the new financial plumbing being laid piece by piece right in front of us. And here's how they keep it buttoned up and institutional grade. Strict guardrails. You need at least $5 million in assets to even knock on the door. Every single participant is verified by their partner Securitize. Only approved, whitelisted wallets can touch these tokens. This is not the Wild West of crypto. This is a walled garden built for compliance and security. And that's exactly why it's already being accepted as collateral on major institutional platforms. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second, because the fund itself, as impressive as it is really just the beginning. The real story here is the blueprint it provides for what comes next. This right here is the so what of this entire explainer. BUIDL is the proof of concept. It proves that you can take a real, tangible, regulated financial asset, put it on a blockchain, and make it faster, cheaper, and more efficient. This is the test case for tokenizing everything: stocks, bonds, real estate, art, you name it. So when we throw around this term tokenizing real-world assets, what are we really talking about here? Well, think about it. They didn't just tokenize some abstract fund. They tokenized the world's most trusted asset, government debt. They tokenized yield itself, having it flow automatically every single day. And they tokenized liquidity, giving institutions the power to access and move their money anytime, anywhere, instantly. So here's the most important takeaway. BlackRock is not trying to adopt the existing DeFi ecosystem. It is building a parallel universe right alongside it, a compliant, regulated, institutional version. This isn't about them joining the party. It's about them building a brand new, exclusive venue.
Now, I know this all sounds huge and institutional, but it has very real direct implications for anyone who's paying attention. So let's get practical and talk about how you can actually position yourself for this coming wave.
That's the billion-dollar question, right? Even if you don't have $5 million lying around to invest in Buidl yourself, you can still be smart and strategically align with where this is all heading.
So here's a simple playbook. First, start tracking the protocols that are actually building in this real-world asset space, names like Ondo, Maple, Centrifuge. Second, think about where the story is going. Get ahead of the narrative. And maybe most importantly, use Buidl's yield as your new risk-free benchmark. If some other DeFi protocol is offering you a way higher yield, you have to ask yourself, where is that extra risk coming from? And finally, hey, if you're a builder, focus on the tools these institutions are going to desperately need. Think wallets, analytics, custody solutions, the whole 9 yards.
And that really brings us to the final thought, doesn't it? This isn't a story about scrappy outsiders disrupting the system. It's a story of evolution from the inside. The biggest, most powerful players in the current system are the ones building the next one. So I'll just leave you with this question to chew on. While the world is busy debating and speculating and chasing shiny objects, institutions like BlackRock are quietly and methodically laying the foundation for the next financial system. So the only real question is, are you watching in the right direction?